Hey y'all, just a heads up, my computer was doing some stupid loady thingy while I was recording, so I'm just letting you know that the audio may be a little bit wonky in this video, but still watch and enjoy. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're just going to jump right into it. As you can see, I already have my base done, so I already have my foundation. We're going to just jump right into concealer. So for concealer, we're using the e.l.f. Hydration Concealer in the color Chestnut. And as you can see in my face, when I first put it on, one, it was a lot and it was extremely yellow. So at first I thought this was going to be kind of bad, but it actually ended up being really pretty once I blended it out. So I just took a small buffing brush and I just blended out all the areas where you can clearly see that I put concealer. And I will say that I actually really like this concealer. I think it's a great drugstore concealer. I think it's like $6 or $8, but it is really, really good. It is so hydrating, and they have another one, or just a regular one, and then this is the hydrating one. And it is so incredibly hydrating. You can see how it shows up on my skin. It's just extremely pretty. And I will say that a little bit goes a long way, so you don't have to use a lot of this concealer under your eye or anywhere on your face, because as you can see, I'm still blending just that little bit that I had put under my eye. So a little bit goes a long way, so you do not need a whole lot of this concealer in order to make it work. It is so pretty. So for setting powder under the eyes and everywhere we put our concealer, we're going to use the Beauty Bakery Flower Setting Powder. As you know, all of her stuff is in her brand is bakery themed, so I think it's really cute to name the powder Flower. And I don't have my products right next to me, so I will have everything listed down below. But y'all, Beauty Bakery is a black owned business, okay? She is a black owned woman, and well, she's not a black owned woman. She's a woman, and her brand is of course black owned, and they sell her brand online and in Ulta, and I highly recommend a lot of her products. I think that they're extremely good quality. So if you guys are looking for some makeup products and that are black owned, she is definitely one of them that I would recommend, especially the setting powder. And as you noticed, I had to change out the blender I was using to set my powder, and that's only because the first one I was using was entirely too wet, and that one was a little bit more dry. So you always want to make sure that your blender isn't too wet, or else you can run the risk of having patchiness under your eye and everywhere that you are setting. So you want to make sure that you're using at least a semi-dry beauty blender, or a dry. Personally, I like a dry one, but that's just me. So I'm setting all right there. And then I'm just going to take my e.l.f. brush. It's an e.l.f. stippling brush. As you can see, I was really impressed by how the powder and the concealer blended together. It looks so pretty. But I took that e.l.f. brush just to kind of brush away any excess powder I had on my face, blend it in, make sure that it was all set. So of course I went off camera and did my eyebrows. So now we're going to set the entire face, and I'm using my Too Faced face setting powder. Normally, you guys know I use my Sephora, but I wanted to use products that I hadn't really used, that I've had in my stash, in my collection this whole time. So I actually like how that one is, how that one makes my face look. It looks very kind of like filter-like, so I really do like that. So you're just going to take your brush and you're going to put it all over your face. And then I'm taking my Hoola Toasted Bronzer, and I'm just going to bronze and warm back up my face, add some color to my face. Now, shout out to Benefit for finally coming out with a bronzer that suits women of color, because they did not have that for a long time. And I've heard positive things about this bronzer, and it is a really good bronzer. But they finally do have one for all my more melanated women. So if you guys do want to try a different bronzer, I do recommend that one. It is really pretty, and that's the Hoola Toasted one. It is extremely smooth and buttery to the skin. Hey, I never miss a moment. If you guys know me, you know I love music. I always do my makeup to music because it gets me in my creative mode. So now we're going to prime our eyelids with the Fenty concealer. We use the color 420. So I actually I have two concealers. The one that I use under my eye is 390. It's a little bit tad lighter than me. And then the one that I use to either spot conceal on my face when I don't want to wear makeup, or when I'm concealing my eyes, or concealing, putting a base on my eyes, I use that one. And then I'm just going to take a regular blending brush and I'm just going to blend that out. And you could use any concealer. You can use an actual eyeshadow base. There's times when I use concealer and there's times when I use my P. Louise base or my Anastasia Beverly Hills base. So it just depends on how I'm feeling that day. But for the most part, you could use any base. And I'm just blending that out on both eyes. So the star of the show today is the Urban Decay Naked palette, and I think it's ultraviolets or something like that. They were very hush on this launch. It just so happened that I was in Ulta and I saw it and I was like, oh, let me get this, let me try it out. So it's so pretty in person. There I go dancing again, child. But it's so pretty in person and it matched my hoodie. So I said, hey, let's make something shake. But before we get into that, you want to make sure that you spray your face. My favorite, of course, is the Too Faced Hangover Primer Spray. Just because I put all that powder on my face, so I want that to set while I'm doing my eyes. So I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to use. I'm going to use my Morphe brush, and we're just going to jump right into it. So at first I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was just like, hey, half these colors are in my hoodie, so we're just going to make this work. So that purple color that I put on, when I initially put it on my eyelids, I thought that it was going to be more like a lilac-y purple, more like a light purple, that thing. But it kind of came out like a silvery grayish purple, which ended up working out, but it just wasn't what I expected. So if you guys are picking up this palette, the colors in there aren't necessarily 100% matte. A lot of them are kind of like shiny, glittery. They're not very matte-like. So that's just a heads up. And I still like the palette either way, but I just kind of noticed that I'm like, oh, this is not what I was thinking, but we're in it, so let's go. So then I took that color right there, and I took the same brush, and I actually have one of those little things that you can use in between colors if you're using the same brush. So I just swiveled that around, and I just put this in my crease. It was kind of like a mauve-y pink color. I didn't use a crease color because initially I wanted to put that shade all over my eyes. Just one shade, but once I saw the kind of color and exactly how shiny it was and how it was working, I said, okay, I need like a little matte crease shade. So that's probably one of the few, if not the only matte color in there. I could be wrong, but yes, I took that mauve pink color and I put that all in my crease just to kind of just make it make sense, because I was like, I kind of was fumbling here, but girl, we make it work over here, okay? So we're just blending out everything and making sure that everything is 100% blended. And checking the lashes, girl, check the lashes. And then, so next, I went off camera. I did my other eye. So then I'm just kind of taking that brush again and just going back over my crease and stuff. Can y'all guess what song I'm singing by my words? I don't know what song I'm singing. Clearly it was my jam. Clearly it was my jam, okay? So yeah, so sometimes it's okay to just go back over with your brush even when you're done and just make sure that your crease and your lid and everything is set and looking good. So next I went in with that kind of orangey, fiery, glittery color, and then I took another Morphe brush. So here's where it got a little bit tricky. So when I put it on the brush and I put it on my lid, the payoff wasn't nearly as good. As you can see, you can't really see it. It doesn't make any sense, right? So then I went back in with my brush again, and I sprayed it with my MAC Fix Plus. And it got better, but it wasn't the type of pigment that I was looking for. Now, it's pigmented, But for some reason with a brush, it just didn't reflect the right way. And you know, the best tools you have are free, and they're your fingers. So I went into that color and I just used my fingers and I patted the color on. And that kind of gave me a little bit more vibrancy that I wanted from that color. And remember that eyeshadow is all about blending and layering and going back and forth. You're never going to get it right the first try. You're always going to have to make sure that you go back in, and you can go back in as many times to get it exactly how you want it. You see, I tried 3 different methods to get it exactly how I want it. So now I'm going in with this kind of mint icy green color. Now this color, for some reason, it went really pigmented onto my eye. It was really pretty. That was actually one of my favorite colors. Like, it was pretty. So it could have been one of two things. It could have been the brush that I used to apply the orange, or simply that color, the way that they made it, it just didn't work with a brush. So I just took a flat Morphe brush and I just dipped into that and just continued to pack on that green color. And then I flipped it over to the other side just to see, and I used that orange color and I got a little bit of a better payoff. So between my finger and a flat packing brush as the best way to apply that color, or these colors. So then, because there wasn't a dark shade in the palette and I wanted to deepen up my outer V, I ended up using my Juvia's Place chocolate palette. I think it's chocolate. Again, everything will be listed down below. But I took the brown out of that palette and I just put it on my outer V and I brought it into my crease. So as you can see, my outer V looks a little bit deeper than the rest of my eye, kind of where that orange meets. That orange and the outside of my eye actually meet. So I just put it on my outer V and then I drug it into my crease, and then I put a little bit in my crease just to deepen up my eyes a little bit. It was looking a little icy for me, so I wanted to deepen it up. Again, my inspiration was my hoodie, so I wanted to try and get it as close to that as possible. And sometimes I don't like to jump from palette to palette, but I have no problem doing that, so I used 2 palettes. And then, of course, I went off camera. I did my other eye, and now I'm just lining my eye with the Tattoo Studio liner by Maybelline. And I recommend everybody, it doesn't have to be KKW. ColourPop sells it online for like $6 or so. But the little thing that I'm using to pull down my eye, I recommend all of y'all get that. So next, I'm using the Fenty, which is my favorite mascara right now. I'm using the Fenty mascara to line my bottom line, or my bottom lashes. And even though I have lash extensions and I don't put on mascara, I still find a way to use that mascara, and it works really good on your bottom lashes. Especially, for me to say that, and I don't really have bottom lashes, it really works. So now we are going to dive into the Makeup Obsessions blush palette, and we're going to use that kind of orangey color because there is orange in the hoodie. And it's very pigmented. I got it from Target. I think it's between $10 and $14. Very affordable. And I'm just using my Morphe brush, another Morphe brush. Morphe has the best brushes, even for beginners, for anybody. They really do have the best brushes. I love them. So I'm just packing that onto my cheeks. And of course, if you guys have been here for a while, you know that I put blush on my nose sometimes just to give myself kind of like a flushed look. So I'm going back in with that spray, and I'm spraying my face just to seal it all in together. Sealing it all in. So now it's time to do the lips. So I was so excited. I actually picked up 3 of the new Fenty Lip Shine lipsticks. And like I said, they'll be listed down below because I can't quite remember which ones I use right now. But before I do anything, I wipe the foundation off my lips. I actually just recently started doing this because I noticed that when I leave the foundation on there, it manipulates the color, and I don't like that, especially when I'm going for a nude. So the first color I'm using, first of all, I didn't need a liner, which is the first thing that I like. They're kind of like a lip gloss in stick form. They're so comfortable. They're so pretty and shiny. Like, I really love them. thinking about going back and getting some more. But child, that's another conversation. So this color is more like my lips but better. So it's kind of the same color as my lips. So I went in with another color because I wanted to make it just a little bit more nude, a little bit more deep. I think the color that I put on was kind of like a little darker of a brown. It's still pretty light, but just a little bit deeper. And that's it. That is the finished product of this video, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. And please remember to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I upload, and be sure to follow me and like, subscribe, comment, and share, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.